Hi, my name is Tommy, and I am going to read a book about Tyrannosaurus Rex. In a swamp beside a river where the land was thick with rag lived a herd of duckbill dinosaurs who roamed the water's edge. And they hooded up with rivers, and they hooded up with reeds, and they hooded up with bellyfuls of juicy water weeds. Now across the rushy river on the hill, the other side lived a mean tyrannosaurus with a grim and a grizzly bridge. They shouted with hunting, and they shouted up with war, and they shouted up with bellyfuls and a duck-bill dinosaur. But the two tyrannosaurs were grizzly and mean and grim. Couldn't catch the duck-bill dinosaurs because they couldn't swim. And they mother it down with water, and they mother it down with wet, and they mother it. What a shame that bridge aren't even invented yet. Now a little calm sung Nethos, but for a short while call her calm, folded up duck-bill egg and stole it from the nest behind the swamp. And they swam with it and ran with it and murmured, "Clever me," and won't the baby calms be thrilled with the duck-bill egg for? He dropped it on the egg, and Tyra and running for her life from a mean tyrannosaurus and his grim and grizzly wife. Now the mother T had a great big jaws and enormous legs, but her brain was rather little and she couldn't count her eggs. And she sang, "Hatch out my taros with your scaly little tails and your spiky little toothes and your scary little nails." One hatched babies, 1 and 2, as the perfect as could be, but Mother T was horrified by baby number 3. And she grumbled it. He looked weedy, and she grumbled it, and looked sweet. It looks weak. And she grumbled it, "What long arms, and look, his mouth is a beak. He just needed feeding up," said that, and gave baby some meat. The first 2 gulped it and guzzled it, but the third refused it to eat. And he said, "I'm really sorry." And he said, "I simply can't." And he said, "This meat looks horrible. I'd rather to eat plants." "A plant," yelled Mom in horror, and Dad said, "Get a grip." His sister found the name of him Tyrannosaurus Drip. And they shouted up with hunting, and they shouted up with war, and they shouted up with bellyfuls of duck-billed dinosaur. Poor Tyrannosaurus Drip tried hard to sing along, but the other yelled, "You silly Drip, you've got the words all wrong." For he hut it down with hunting, and he hut it down with war, and she hut it down with belly full of duck-billed dinosaur. Drip's sister soon grew bigger enough to hunt with Mom and Dad. With Mom and Dad. But they turned it on Drip and told him, "You're not fierce enough to come." And he cried, "They've gone without me." And he cried, "Alkaday." And he cried, "It doesn't feel like home. I'm going to run away." So he ran off the river, where he saw a lovely sight. The herd of duck-billed dinosaur all hooded with delight. And they hooded up with rivers, they hooded up with reeds, and they hooded up with bellyful and juicy water weeds. As Sim stood there on the bank, a sudden urge took hold of him, and he jumped into the water and discovered he could swim. The duckbills came to greet him by the rushy river edge, and they hooded, "Nice to see you." They hooded, "Have some veg." And Drip, who was delighted that they hadn't run away, ate bellyfuls of water reeds and played with them all day. Then they gazed into the river and asked them, Who is that creature in the water?" And they laughed and said, "It's you." That night the lightning crackled and the storm blew down tree, and it fell across the river, and T.S. cried, "Yippee!" And they shouted up with hunting, and they shouted up with war, and they shouted up with bellyfuls of duck-billed dinosaur. Drip's sister stepped into a bridge, but they began to frown. For there in front of them stood Drip, who yelled, "Look out, look down." And they looked into the water, and they each let out a yelp, and one cried, "Water monsters!" The other cried, "Help!" Their mother scolded, "Nonsense," and they joined them in the tree. Then she looked into the water and exclaimed, "Good gracious me!" The three of them stood trembling, and Dad said, "Get a grip. You're all of you as drippy as Tyrannosaurus. strip. He strode it onto the bridge and scoffed. I bet there's nothing there. Then he looked it in the water and he jumped into the air. And the duckbill hooded and he landed and crashed and the tree bridge broke and 4 tyrannosaurus went splash. And spluttering and climbing to the branches of the tree, they went rushing down the waterfall and all the way to the sea. And the duckbills hooted happily and hooted, hip, 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 hooray for the Hurricane's one and only duckbill trip. That's all for today. So bye.